Hi everybody, my name is Kais MEJRI. I am from the Ministry of Industry and SMEs, Tunisia, and I am happy to be with you in AI Expo Africa 2020 to share with you some thoughts about artificial intelligence. My talk today will be about artificial intelligence in government. We will have a look to AI perception in Tunisia government, to Tunisian official government, and some use cases in Tunisia. Artificial intelligence is getting more and more important in our daily life nowadays. Artificial intelligence is deployed in every corner of our daily life, in finance, in healthcare, in education, in transport, in defense, in government. All our devices and businesses and lives will have AI components. The AI will assist us, will drive us, will entertain us, will cure us, will feed us. Every corner of our daily life will be managed with AI. The global AI market size was valued at 15.7 trillions of dollars. That's why many nations are racing now to be an AI global leader. We see the battle between China and USA, which are in the forefront of the global AI race. But other nations are following, and a lot of national AI strategies are under process. To implement AI strategies, we need a lot of elements. We need first data. Data is the fuel of AI algorithms. It is the new oil of our 21st century. Second, we need infrastructure, a very strong and solid infrastructure, computing power and storage power. Third, we need talents. We need skilled people to develop AI algorithms. But before all of that, we need a real political leadership from government. That's why we need government officials who are really aware about the challenges of this new technology and the power that can deliver to both private and public sector. The Ministry of Industry has been working since 2 years on a rising awareness of government officials about artificial intelligence. A lot of actions has been done. We made a lot of training sessions, a lot of seminars, a lot of use cases were developed in collaboration with many public institutions. The ministry, in cooperation with several Tunisian AI startups such as Instadi, iCompass, Innova Robotics, Artmine, and so on, is developing a lot of AI use cases in public sector. Some of these use cases were developed during the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. We used a lot of AI application in order to tackle this health disease. For example, some startups developed chatbots to answer questions and provide medical information to citizens in Tunisian dialects. Others developed AI systems in order to detect the virus in X-ray images using machine learning algorithms. Police increased patrols with robots, plenty of AI solution in order to comply to the restrictions policy of the government. A robot 100% made in Tunisia was deployed in hospitals in order to assist medical staff in their job and duties. Essence is autonomous robots that provide instant communication between patient and medical staff in order to prevent the risk of contamination. Regardless all these AI solutions related to the COVID-19, the ministry is developing also other kind of solution in different administration. For example, the ministry is working with the parliament in order to digitalize all their archive of parliamentarian deliberation. The ministry also working with the state-owned company of electricity to detect fraud of electricity In order to understand how far senior officials of Tunisia government are familiar with AI concept and the new challenges of this technology, we carried out in December 2019 a survey, AI perception in public sector. The objective of the survey was to answer some of these questions. What is the level of understanding of civil servants to AI? How do they consider the impact of this new technology on their tasks, on their responsibilities, and their jobs? What are their worries and concerns about data privacy, about digital skills needed to embrace this technology? Finally, what should be the role and priorities of the government and the pillars of a national AI strategy? So, four topics were covered by the survey: AI perception, AI at work, AI and ethics, finally, AI and the role of government. Our targeted population was 1,000 civil servants belonging to the both central and local government and state-owned enterprises. This is a brief overview of the targeted population. 60% of surveyed population are under the age of 40 years old. 85% of the population have a professional experience more than 5 years. 40% are women. 70% of them are PhD and master's degree holders. 20% are top managers, DG or COO. The survey came up with the conclusion that civil servants in Tunisia have a good perception of AI. At this date, the employees are aware of the use of AI in the workplace and appear ready to integrate a national program to implement AI in public services. The overwhelming majority of Tunisian officials think that implementing AI can contribute to the improvement of the quality of public services. They believe that AI can have an impact on reducing costs, on reducing time delivery, in automating some repetitive tasks, and in engaging transparency in the decision process, and finally in fighting corruption in public services. This belief is shared between all the surveyed people, regardless their gender, their age, their level of education, or their professional qualification and experience. Tunisian civil servants seems to be aware enough about the importance of implementation of AI in workplace. They are ready to integrate any national initiative or programs to implement AI in public administration. More than 55% of them believe that they have enough digital skills to deal with AI in their workplace, and they have effective digital skills to overcome their jobs in the coming future. The majority of them seems to be confident and curious about the impact of AI on their work in the coming years. Only 8% of them have a negative feeling. They believe that in the next 10 years, AI will either eliminate their current functions and jobs and lead to the creation of another jobs, or at least they will bring a deep change to our current tasks and profession. Half of the population surveyed believe that their administration have sufficient volume of data to implement AI projects. When we ask public officials about what worry them about using AI, three major issues are bring up. First, the most worry for them is the risk to lose their privacy as well as integrity of their personal data when using AI. Second is the loss of use of human common sense while delivering public services. Finally, they also fear the loss of social interaction with other people because AI will reduce more and more the relationship between people. On the other hand, 70% of them don't have any objections to share their personal data with government in order to improve the quality of services and develop a new AI use cases in administration. Ask them whether they trust AI technologies or not. For example, do they accept to be driven by autonomous car? Only 40% remain skeptical to such kind of use case that may affect their personal security. 60% of them trust technology and accept the control of AI and robots of some parts of their life. Top management and young people seems to be more open to the use of such kind of application, even though it may affect their personal security. Now, after having a brief overview of public official perception of AI technology, let's move and have an idea about their expectation from their government in order to implement a national AI strategy. According to the study, 90% of surveyed people consider it is important for the government to start implementing a national AI strategy as soon as possible, even though 30% of them consider this issue is very urgent. They believe that the most important and priority sectors for the government to handle with AI use cases are the public services delivery, the health, transport, and energy sectors. We need to develop a trustworthy and impactful AI use cases in order to improve the quality of public services for citizens and reduce costs and time delivery, enhance transparency, and prevent corruption. The survey shows that the three major priorities for the government in the future is first to enhance, promote, and support all startups who are active in AI field in order to create a real ecosystem. Second is to provide a funding mechanism dedicated to AI projects and AI use cases in government. Third, we need to have a real R&D policy that tackles all public issues in the government. The survey shows also that the government priorities in the future is to regulate AI, especially the ethical issues, data privacy, cybersecurity, biases, and all risks related to the implementation of AI algorithms. That was the final conclusion of the survey AI perception in public sector in Tunisia. I want to thank again the organizers of AI EXPO Africa, and I want to thank all our attendees. Thank you for your attention.